Sports.
Everybody, this is Don LaGreca from the Michael K. Show. When it comes to talking sports, Bob Walters and Brett Grasso are the authority.
Can't wait. When it comes to talking sports, they're the authority. It's Bob Walters and Brett Grasso. It's Locked Up Sports, and it starts now.
Bring them out, hey. Bring them out, bring them out, yeah. Bring them out, hey. Bring them out.
Here we go. Bob Walters, Brett Grasso, from the Brian Gunzel Studios. This is Locked Up Sports. Brett, Rivalry Saturday does not disappoint. The Iron Bowl has its annual greatest finish of all time. Ohio State falls short in the Big House. Washington survives a scare from Washington State. And the Jets, Brett, oh, the Jets. Welcome to the show, everybody. How are you doing, Brett?
Oh man,
Brett, I got off the train today, and then it's like a winter, like Sayville is transformed into winter. They have carousel, reindeer, a band playing. It's 10 degrees outside.
It turns real quick around here. I know. I couldn't even. It was going on all day too. It was like a whole, because it's, what is it, Small Business Saturday. So they do the whole deal from beginning. So I was trying to get home. I was stuck in traffic trying to get back.
It's so expensive to buy from those small businesses.
Well, big discounts today. You make sure you support them, Someone's got to.
When was the last time you bought something at like the Sable Running Company, like a shoes?
No, I wouldn't do something
like Boomers.
Like that.
Or does Boomers still there?
There's just no way in my life I'm ever giving somebody an extra, $40, 50%. Like an extra, if it was going to cost you $100, it's going to cost you $130, $140.
It shouldn't be that much.
Well, it depends, but they got everybody on the hook with that stuff. They're, if you're
they make you feel bad.
It's not for us. It's for
they make you feel bad.
You're going to get there. No, you're going to get there soon. See, you don't get it. It's not. You have a choice, but pretty soon you're going to have you have your daughter who's going to grow up, and she's going to be on the running team. She's going to be like cross country.
Yeah.
And everybody goes to the store and gets the exact same sneakers, and you're getting them.
Amazon. You don't have an option. I'm getting mine on Amazon.
No.
I'm not even going opening day.
It's actually, you have to go with the friends. Like, you're all going, and you're going to try them on. You got to get them custom fit. It's not like Amazon anymore, Bob. You're in trouble. You don't get it.
I don't even have money fans.
No. We're saving up. This is why we're doing this. We got to build this up.
Yeah. We're going to start asking for donations.
We're getting close.
We're going to start asking for donations. So, Brett, listen, it was going to take a lot for us not to start with the disaster that is the Jets. But these football games today, these college football games have been out of control.
Yeah.
The Iron Bowl, which, like I said just before in the beginning, it's the annual greatest finish of all time. They have one of these every year or two. We had the 100-yard field goal,
miss that got returned. That's one of my favorites.
There was and then there's this one.
Was that the last second fumble one?
Yeah,
that was a good one too.
And then there's this one where Alabama's dead. They have, first of all, they went from basically winning the game. They were going to win the game. First and goal on the 7-yard line. They go backwards on the first play. Then the second play, the snap goes wild over the head. They find themselves 4th and goal from the 31-yard line. They're giving them. Auburn's giving them a 10-yard cushion, and he's got a guy behind him.
Yeah.
And somehow the guy gets in the corner of the end zone.
All the time in the world. So it was that guy's scrambling, but he back corner of the end zone.
And also on that second down was the bad snap. Third down, he had all the time in the world. The quarterback held the ball maybe 8 or 9, maybe 10 seconds, but he went over the line of scrimmage and then came back and threw it. So they didn't have any timeouts left. So it was a 10-second runoff.
Oh, it's even worse.
Which ended up costing Auburn at the end because they needed extra time to get when they got the ball back. And then 4th down and goal from the 31-yard line, he throws one into the corner of the end zone.
Got both feet in.
Only needed one. You are sick if you're Auburn. They were a game under 500 this year. This was their only meaningful game now.
And Alabama needed to hang in there just in case they could get a berth into into the playoff. They're always that team that's on the bubble they're gonna know that it's gonna go in their favor if there's an option given to these selectors.
Yeah, Alabama's that team. They always want Alabama.
And so this is that play right there kept them in that. You never know what happens in the next week.
We had undefeated Ohio State go down.
That's the game, undefeated. It went down to Michigan. That's the rivalry. That's the game everybody's been waiting for all year. That's another one. The Michigan's a little bit like the Cowboys, where they haven't really played anybody this year, and now they had to play somebody. Well, it was show me who are you.
No. Michigan plays. They play their guys. Okay, they play their conference schedule. They play a couple easy games, but you had the backdrop
it's not that they were that easy. It's they didn't play like this was like the first really big test. They had Penn State was their only really big test. I'd say up till this point.
Michigan's good. Michigan's better than everybody. Now there's the whole sign stealing thing, which I think is blown way out of proportion. I don't think it's a big deal at all. To be honest with you.
Well, it's punished like here a GM put this together for you. Here you go. In college,
he puts it together.
You're the GM. You're the one. You know how hard it is. You know why they don't even want to be college coaches. These guys, and why they burn out when you watch somebody like Urban Meyer walk away at the top. Because you know, annoying. Like the day it ends, it's not like let me go enjoy my championship. It's oh no, now we got to ride this and move forward. And I have to be in a guy's living room tomorrow, and I got to be in every top recruit's living room tomorrow. And it's really a never-ending thing. And then the game planning and the scheming. And let me tell you, this is Harbaugh's blueprint. And his is all his. That other guy, you know, who's the biggest benefit is the backup coach who got moved up to interim head coach.
Yeah.
That guy now is gonna have a big choice on his hands because he probably is like, oh my god, I want to ride this wave of being in a big school. He's gonna end up probably a head coach of another school.
You think so?
Which way do you go?
But
I don't know. What do you do?
Do you hire him because of what he did? I mean, listen,
he's getting a shot. There's how many schools there are. He's gonna get a shot.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. He's gonna get a shot, but is it gonna be a better job than what he's got here?
No, but that's the choice. Do you want to be a big fish in a small pond? Do you want to be a small fish in a big pond? And he's going to have a really tough choice.
Because he's got a pretty sweet job there at Michigan.
Yeah, and no, you're right. And it might be there's the other end is it looks like Harbaugh's probably the NCAA is all over him. There's no way he's going to stay in the NCAA. He's out soon. He's coming out of the NFL soon.
He's coming back to the NFL. You think so?
There's no way.
This is his dream
the NCAA
job.
is all over him. I think this is going to be like I'm stepping down for the better of the organization. But he's getting a huge
didn't
deal.
touch him on this. Okay, first of all, it was the Big Ten that did it, and the reason they did it, and they didn't want to do this. They didn't want to suspend Jim Harbaugh for the Penn State game, the Ohio State game.
No.
He did it because he had to. Right?
Yeah.
It now comes out that all the other teams were doing it, and they were colluding with each other with the information to get at Michigan.
But you're talking about it like this is the end of it. Like, this is all of his stuff. We caught him for all. No, he's probably got 20 other things that he knows about. He went and sold himself to the devil to get this championship he's going to get this year. And he can't believe they're actually going to give him a shot. He almost got his team kicked out of the whole freaking playoff.
Yeah, but first of all,
and they're not
because they're taking it. What they're doing is they're taking it to court. They're going the Patriots route. They're taking it to court, and they're going to say, first of all,
that's where all good games are won.
Did you get an advantage? They didn't get an advantage, right? Because the other teams were doing it. Did you really get an advantage? First of all, Michigan's bigger than everybody they played. I've watched a lot of the Michigan games this year. Their offensive line, their defensive line.
That's the joke. Up until the Penn State game, they didn't need to do it for 1 second. They didn't need to do it at all. Like I'm telling you, if you look at their record, it's really, who they played, it's nothing, that spectacular where you even had to worry, especially with how good they are. Maybe in another season, you have to really worry about, but they're just overpowering everybody. Like that offensive line just overpowers everybody. You can just stay back there all day, run the ball, even throwing the ball, which they don't do that much. But let me tell you, they got something good going. But I don't think Harbaugh's going to be around. I think he's got a bunch of more skeletons in his closet, and I think he's going to do the smart thing and take the big money and go to the NFL.
But he can go to the NFL at any time, right? Like the NFL doesn't care if you cheated
but the NFL is very simple. It comes down to I can go anywhere and make the money no matter what. But there's only 1 or 2 select jobs that even have a shot at holding on to a coach for 5 years, let alone maybe 3.
Michigan,
there's only a couple. Almost all the NFL jobs that are available you're not going to be the coach there in 5 years.
He could be Michigan as long as he wants. And he's a Michigan alum,
right?
He is the school. He could be the Bobby Bowden of Michigan
until unless he becomes the Bobby Knight. No, I don't know. It depends.
He's the best football coach in America.
No,
right?
and they say he's the most amazing coach. His players love him more than anything.
Pros, NFL, and college. He's the best football coach in America.
You know how good you have to be, just like Notre Dame, to recruit people to come play there. To come play in Michigan, then people, not because of the atmosphere, because how freaking awful the winters are, and to go come up and the same thing where they're like, oh, you know what, we can go watch the 2 teams we're playing right now. Do you know how much fun those kids have in Florida State?
You know how easy it is? Have Tom Brady make a phone call to you
Tim Tebow.
It's not that hard, bro. It's not that hard to get you to come to Michigan.
I'm going to work so hard I will work harder than you've ever seen to get this recruit there. You know that's the speech he gives. And he pounds on the
Tim
Tebow.
Yeah, but Harbaugh's sitting in the living room. He sees it going a little south. The family might be thinking about not going there. He just tiles up Tom Brady.
No,
and goes, hey, Tom Brady wants to talk to you for a second.
No, and then they bring out Aaron Hernandez.
The corpse.
Florida. This could be you.
Hey, listen,
we accept anybody down here.
And
very accepting.
Michigan has now been, they've won 3 in a row for the first time in like 20 years. Ohio State was always.
I think they blow it next week. Big Ten championship.
To Iowa? I know they're going to blow Iowa out, but now they play Iowa, Big Ten champ. The Big Ten never had a championship until about a couple of years ago. But now, because the champion, you have to have a championship game. Now, next week is the last week for me for college football, and then the playoff. I don't like the bowl games.
No, it's no.
Because now you're wall-to-wall college football.
They finally are allowing a lot of these guys to play in the bowl games that were in the past, like they weren't even eligible to play based on like them leaving the school.
Yeah, but you don't want to play. You're crazy. I think you're crazy if you play in a bowl game and you're going to the NFL.
You watch some of these guys now. Like they're playing, they have no chance of going to a national championship. You're playing just to go to a bowl game. These last 4 games for a lot of these guys who were guaranteed. I'm talking the quarterbacks. Some of these quarterbacks, we're talking like
top picks.
They're not.
Second
oh
rounds.
My God! First, if you're in a chance to be in the top 2 rounds of it's really rough, man.
Anyone on Florida, like we're watching right now, Florida State game. Florida's is up. They're up 15-14, but Florida State's going in.
But that's your legacy. You have to realize they also have a very big.
And your school is where you go. You live forever. You get there forever.
You look at guys like, if you look at someone like Johnny Manziel, like that guy can still go back to Texas Tech and be like a legend, even though. If you look at him, he's a total failure, right? He's not. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. He went out and did whatever, and he just, made dumb decisions.
But you're also looking at a couple million. Now, they're all insured. Okay, if you're a first or second round pick, like you're going first, second round this year, you're insured. You have an insurance policy and everything, but still. Do you want to risk that? In the bowl game, especially, I'm not going to play in the Pinstripe Bowl.
Yeah, but at
Yankee Stadium,
it's different now. It's like, here's some nil money. They're like, no, we're going to pay you. Go and appear in that game. We're going to give you an extra like $20K. When in your life are you ever? Forget, Bob. We're 42. We're going to say we're not saying no to $50K.
No.
To show up to a bowl game right now. If you told me anywhere, me and you would be on a plane anywhere in this country right now for a $50K.
Yeah, no, you're right. Remember,
hands on, hit me.
It's like when I said I wouldn't go to the ball game if you paid me, and you were like, you'd be buying tickets for that thing.
Yeah, of course.
So that's going on. And then this game is listen, it's not settled yet, right? You got Georgia, obviously. They're going to be in. They're going to get a shot. They're undefeated.
Yep.
You got Michigan is in. Let's assume they win next week.
Right.
And then you got
who's that?
1-loss teams. You got Ohio State, who just lost. You got Alabama, who lost earlier in the year. You got Washington State. You got Washington, who has 1 loss.
Look at this. You got this Florida State team who lost their quarterback last week, and they're on the edge of. They're trying to get in the end zone now to beat Florida, but they could, if they don't get upset by Florida, they're going to go in undefeated.
You got to put them in undefeated Power Conference. Power 5 conference, undefeated team, conference champion. They have to go in. You can't have a 1-loss team go in over them. You can't. Then the whole thing's a sham. As far as I'm concerned.
They're up 17-15 now with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Florida State's up over Florida, and 11-0. No quarterback. They're probably, you know what? This is who they want out, though. This is the exact team that the whole.
They want Alabama.
This is who the committee wants out. They want this to be a loss because that's going to be the toughest choice. They're going to have to justify not putting in because of a quarterback being injured. They may have to justify not letting in an undefeated team.
They want They've
done that in the past. We've seen them.
That?
We've seen who's the team? Who have they done it to?
Wasn't it last year that we were doing this?
Not with Boise State or TCU.
No, but that's different. That's not a Power 5 conference.
No,
you're
right. You're right because it's who they play.
You have ACC here, an ACC undefeated team,
but they're showing you right now that versus what are they 4-5 or something like that? Florida.
Then we have 4. Yeah, they won all
the problem is you're playing in the swamp.
And it's your rivalry.
Versus your rivalry.
Yeah. That's what Auburn did today. Alabama did today. Auburn was 5-6.
It's amazing what the advantages when it comes to away home games in college football. It is such a crazy atmosphere. It's something that we don't really get to see in the Northeast, even on any level. But man, that's something I really wish I got to do when I was younger.
Yeah, when I talked to David Amendolara, I had him on when he came on the show. I did a whole thing, and I was like, "Why is he's a New York guy, he's from upstate New York. Why is it not as popular here?" And he's like, "Because we've never experienced it. Rutgers is not big time. Rutgers is not.
No, it's not like that.
LSU Saturday night, right? And that's the closest thing we have, right? We got Rutgers. That's it.
Oh, forget it. Dude, at 17 years old, I had to take a train from Penn Station all the way around to South Bend, Indiana. I went to the pep rally at Notre Dame at 17. Fake ID to get a hotel room.
A fake ID to get a hotel room.
We go to the pep rally at the basketball stadium. We got Hunter the Punter Smith doing the speech. The place is crazy because you have to wait at the doors when they open it to get your spot. So everybody's like geared up when they're going to unlock the doors to the pep rally, and then everybody in the student body rushes in, and you get like right up on the court.
Okay.
And we get to see, and then the next day.
Who did they play when you went?
Baylor. Notre Dame Baylor, October 1998.
They blew them out?
98, and they did. They blew them out, and it was just after they put the new stadium edition on. My only requirement was I'm sitting in the old stadium. I'm not sitting in the new stadium.
Where were you, upper corner?
Upper corner, in the end zone, and all the action down on that end. Before it, we snuck into the friends and family breakfast buffet. Yep. Got busted. It was me and Keith Williamson.
Okay.
We get, you know him. Right. We're getting in at that point. We're totally.
I know you're getting in. I know you're getting kicked out.
He was 16. You know what we told his dad? We told his dad we were at my aunt's funeral in Connecticut. And we instead go to the game. His dad, I don't even think he ever found out about this. But
let's not forget Keith also came to visit me at college and got arrested.
Yeah, They showed up at my college in the morning at 7 a.m. Him, Janine, Ryan, and they're like, "Hey, we're here. We just wanted to hang out."
We showed up to Brett's college, and Brett got arrested.
That was it. We all did. Well, that's not entirely true.
So anyway, now listen. We've now done 20 minutes, but 20 minutes. And we haven't gotten to the Jets, so let's
Here we
do
go.
the Jets.
I was avoiding it.
Jets, the now famous Hail Mary pick six. The offense was just as bad as it's ever been with Boyle as the quarterback. As far as I'm concerned, Hackett's got to go. Salah's got to go. They need a whole new quarterback.
Whose choice is that? Is it Aaron Rodgers' choice?
That's what I'm saying. I would tell Aaron Rodgers, and you know what? And Aaron Rodgers can't play this year. Okay?
No, he's out. He's out for the year. He knows that.
That's off the table.
Well, he's talking about it. That's his own motivation.
Here's what I would do.
That's his own motivation.
Aaron Rodgers and say, "You're not playing this year. You're not going anywhere near the field." I go to Salah and Hackett. Hackett's terrible.
That's like me telling my grandma she can't drive anymore.
No, and if you don't like
you can't tell her. You can't blow her motivation. That's her goal. Her goal is to get there. That's what's pushing her. Let's let him. Give him his. His fake. He's going to play this year.
You could hit the road too, Rodgers, because we'll just start over.
Well,
how good is he? Well,
we already started packing people's bags because we got Alan Lazard, packing it up and sitting on the bench because he can't catch a ball. We're paid him $44 million for 2 years. Salah's like, well, he's going to be ours for the next year and a half.
Because you're bringing in Rodgers' buddies. Rodgers played GM. And let Rodgers play GM, and look what happened.
And they asked Salah, they're like, "Oh, why didn't you start him? What's going on with him?" Well, he lost his edge.
No,
he lost his edge. No, he drops the balls that are thrown to him. Doesn't matter how crappy you are as a quarterback. When someone throws the ball and it hits you in the hands,
Jets quarterbacks don't throw a lot of good passes.
No,
and he drops the few good passes that they throw. We got a bunch of drops,
and not that it's really affected anything because we were going to lose those games anyway. To be honest with you, but when I see that they're all pressing because they only get so many opportunities a game. But Garrett Wilson's dropping balls. Lazard's dropping balls. They're dropping balls out of the backfield. The quarterbacks can't hit the people half the time anyway. You got Tim Boyle, who is one of the worst college quarterbacks in the history of college, who somehow got a walk-on opportunity in Green Bay, weaseled his way as the fourth guy in New York.
He's another
and now all of a sudden is starting for the Jets. I don't even understand, but it shows you exactly how bad Zach Wilson is as a number 2, that we can bring in a nobody, awful person from UConn off the street who had more interceptions and touchdowns with a total completion percentage of 47% in college and bring him in, and he's equally bad. So it shows you how bad Zach Wilson is and how bad of a number 2 pick is and how that guy needs to be cut and see you later. They should have never let him even put his pads on this week. It was an embarrassment they let him on the sideline.
I forgot that because I had said last week that he's not going to dress. but I forgot that they dressed out 3
The
quarterbacks.
best chess quarterback we had all year played. He played in the game. Do you know when he played? His name was Mike White, and he played in victory formation against the Jets.
That's a
as the
smack in
Dolphins
the-
put
that's a-
him in
that's a
on
slap
the
in the
last
face.
play. They never did that all year. This isn't something they've done. They've been way up on teams. Way up. Mike White? No.
They scored 70 points. No, he got in the 70
He got in, but they didn't bring him in like this. This is bringing him in like they've had other victory formations and no Mike White coming out. And Mike White trots out there to show you this guy could have taken you to the playoffs this year if you weren't so stupid. That's what that was.
You think Mike? What? No. First of all, he didn't show you by taking a knee that he could take you to the playoffs.
No.
And I don't think
Mike
he could've.
McDaniels was showing you that. He was saying to you, you are idiots. You guys had the opportunity to pick up a guy for a few $1,000,000 that would have given you some type of insurance policy that with the defense play, there's never been such a disparity from offense to defense in the history of the NFL.
The defense
of a
is
team
a little overrated.
Yes, but the disparity, no, that team is, imagine being a defense with that as your offense and playing constantly on every 3 and out.
I know,
I'm
I know.
sorry. If you
hard, that's
compound
hard, I
that,
agree.
if you made this a team where they weren't 3 and outs and say that was stretched to the other side of the field every time, this defense would have let up no points all year. Like really, barely let up anything. It's really that. Yes, I'll give you that. They have definitely weakened, but that is because of the strain.
hard.
That is,
Yeah,
that
I
is a
agree.
totally different thing.
But I mean, again, another game without a touchdown. They got one in garbage time. But another game without a touchdown.
We got a touchdown. Don't be
But they
saying
can't-
another game without a touchdown.
They
We
can't
got
score
it.
any points. Like, it's absurd.
No,
Like, the
nothing.
Giants were bad to start the season, but the Giants have scored a couple. Now they got a 30-point game. But the Jets can't even get first downs. It is the fact that building was sold out. I actually went on an hour before the game. I was
buddies go still.
an hour. That's a ridiculous. An hour before the game, I was like, let me see how much money tickets are. I was just curious.
Yeah.
On StubHub.
What?
And it was $160 to get in the building. Like,
That's nuts.
who's buying these?
It's because of the event before. It has nothing to do with the game at this point. If you watch, there was nobody in that stadium at all, and this whole thing. Like there was at the end of that game, they were out and they didn't leave. That's the thing. You think they left? They didn't leave. They went back out to go have some more beers and eat some more food. Like it's the party. You're paying $160 for the party.
But
I'm telling you, that's all it is. They know Jets fans have never went to a game paying, expecting them to win. That's what you don't get, Bob. It's a little different.
No,
You're used to competitive football. We don't go to games for competitive football games.
I mean, is there anything worse? Is there really anything? I got half of it. Is there anything worse in sports than being a Mets Jets fan?
It's so insanely crazy that you know what the worst part is. I don't think we've ever talked about
It's
this.
so bad.
I don't think we've ever talked about
So
this, but we all talk about and we've watched. And me and you were waiting for this Mets championship.
Yeah,
and all of a
it's
sudden,
hard
waiting
being a
for it.
Mets
No,
fan.
but what you don't get is it's not the same, Bob. We needed that and we missed it. And our opportunity is gone of us ever getting that when we were somewhere between
I
20
know.
and 30.
No, between 10 and 30.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you 15 and
'Cause the Rangers were great. The
Because
Rangers
it's a
for me
very
were
big
great.
difference is the whole thing is not going to be the same as
It's
us
not.
going and getting drunk at the games and going to the
Skipping
parade
school,
and
go to
acting
the
like
parade.
crazy at
Yeah.
the parade. It's not, no, we're going to go to the parade and we're going to be on the sideline like this.
Yeah.
And we're going to be like,
Yeah, because you know what?
no, it's not in
not
the
gonna be-
realm. No, our friends got it, and they think
They
that
got
the
it. They
next
all
time
got
the
it.
Yankees win a championship, it's going to be
No.
like that again,
No.
and it's going to have that feeling. It's not the same thing. We missed it. The boats sailed. I'm telling you.
I was downtown last week, and every time I'm downtown, I go downtown a lot, down in the Financial World Trade Center City Hall area, and every time I go, and I always either point it out to myself or whoever I'm with, that's the tree McGordy was in.
Yeah.
Watching it. He climbed up the tree. Like,
Yeah.
you can't do
Light
that now.
pole.
We're 42 years old.
I remember with Garrett, and we're there, and we're climbed on the light pole. And that's after 96.
Yeah, like you can't
That was
do that,
after
man. That
96.
40-something-year-old
That
man.
was after 96, skipping school, going in. And let me tell you, as a Mets fan, I had to see what it was like. I had to be there. I've heard my whole life watch videos of the 69 Mets and ticker tape parades and what it was all about. And and at that point, we had been to like St. Patrick's Day parades. That's a different thing. It's a different thing.
It's
Let me
different,
tell
it's
you,
different, it's different.
it was awesome.
St.
Let me tell you,
Patrick,
no, the Yankees parade, and I'll give you, because I'm not a Yankee hater. I know you're a little bit more of a Yankee
I hate
hater
the
than I am.
Yankees.
But like on my walls when I grew up, I have pictures of Mickey Mantle and Babe Ruth. Like that's because I love baseball. Like, and there was no Mets at some point, and those were the best guys in the freaking around. Like, so I look at it and I'm like, being there, and especially now looking back at what that team really looks like in history.
Now
like
imagine-
now it's like a big, it's a big deal. The '96 Yankees.
Now imagine you're Dwight Gooden and you were on the team and won the championship and missed the parade.
Oh,
Now you got another one with the Yankees.
no, but that's the no.
but that was the one.
Well,
that was his
that's-
one. That was his.
No, but that was a big thing, man. Like, and he looks back and he talks about it at how
He's in
when
an
you
alley
look back
smoking
and
crack
stuff about
somewhere.
your life, there's certain things that you don't whatever, but you look back and you only get one shot, and that's kind of what I meant by we only
Yes.
got one shot, and it being at a certain time frame in our lives that it meant something so different.
I
Like,
got one. I got the Rangers, and
No,
it's
I'll give you
still,
that. Oh,
it's
yeah.
still to this day.
Yeah.
My favorite sports moment ever is the '90. My favorite team ever is the '94 Rangers.
And there's even a point back then that Notre Dame winning the national championship would have done the same thing for me. That's how crazy it was. That would never be like
you
that.
got nothing.
No, and and I came close with them. You know what? I lost on like the Boston College one with Notre Dame. That
Okay,
was like
yes,
like Florida
yes.
State split national championship, and
Because
then like
you were in the national championship like 10 years ago, right? And it
80
still wasn't the same.
And I wasn't there. Yeah, yeah.
We were at our buddy's house for watching the game.
By
I was
halftime,
there.
he was on the floor eating Cheerios.
And he's the biggest.
I'm yelling at him, going, "We're still in it.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't over yet."
No, but it was over. They were blown out the whole time. But I've
Doesn't
experienced-
matter. We did my whole life. That'd be like you not watching the last 3 innings of Game 7
Yeah.
because we were down
Yeah.
10-0.
Yeah.
That would be like the equivalent of
Listen,
that.
I have the story. I went over to McGordy's house, and the one World Series game I've seen the Mets win. The one in my lifetime. We went to the game, they lost. We saw the Royals win the World Series. The one World Series game I saw the Mets win in my lifetime, I was sitting in the McGordy's living room, and it was a pop-up, and Mr. McGordy and Ryan are there, and I said, and I said, got up, and I go, it's in your face, it's over, and they both looked at me, and Mr. McGordy goes, get out.
That's the best.
And I looked at him and I go, gladly. And I walked out of that house with a huge smile on my face. A week later, then they lost. That was against the Yankees. That was the Subway Series. You know what I was thinking? We've seen things in our lifetime though that like are so weird that you never thought you'd see. Ready? A couple of them.
Yeah.
Subway Series. Okay.
Totally.
Super Bowl in New York.
Yes.
Overtime in a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Right? We've seen like these are things that never happen. Like and we
No.
got to see them.
Walk-off Game 7 World Series winners.
Walk-off Game 7 winners. Yeah, like multiple walk-off Game 7 winners.
Yeah. Like home run to do it. Like there's been some. Honestly, it always amazes me, and that's what drives me. I think.
Like things that never happened up to that point. There was a long time of sports before we were around, before we were alive, but while we were alive, and no Super Bowl ever went to a overtime.
Women playing basketball.
Stop. Women referee. There's women announcers.
That is, you know what? I'll
Doris
give you
Burke
that
is
one.
one of the best in the
No,
business.
that one, honestly, and as long as they're good. And then we got Susie Waldman, the worst in the business.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. She's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I'm not crazy. She's all right. She's all right. She's on the radio. That whole thing is more of a product. The Yankees radio booth is more of a production, an entertainment thing
No, it's
than
like-
it is a broadcast of the game.
Yeah, and at this point, it's just like, it's almost like.
Now they're old.
That's what I was going to say. They're like hanging on to tradition, and they don't realize that they're going to lose out on a lot of people that may actually watch
Well,
baseball.
it's over for them. They're slowly.
No, I
Sterling's
know,
not
but I
doing
like
as
to
many
see
games.
how long but how long do they let them go on for? Like this, they've proven in the past they're going to let you go, and then they're going to record your voice and keep it going.
Yeah,
That's what they do.
now,
Pretty soon it's going to be AI, and it's going to be Bob Shepard, and still.
quickly on the Jets. Now, ready here. I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
For the worst, most embarrassing Jets moment.
Oh, this is a good one.
Here's a couple multiple choice for you. You got the fake spike.
Fake spike.
Okay,
That
you
one
got
kills me.
the butt fumble.
Yeah.
You got Joe Namath trying to kiss the reporter at halftime.
Yeah.
And you got yesterday's Hail Mary pick 6. Out of those, which is the most embarrassing Jets moment? Got to be Namath, right?
The most embarrassing. No.
which
No.
were you most
See, that's
embarrassed
what
to
you
be a
don't
Jets
get.
fan?
Like everything we talked about, Bob. As soon as you have that ticker tape parade, you can do whatever you want. So Joe Namath gets a pass, and as we've learned in this world, he's back. All you have to do is pretend like you stopped drinking. But seriously, because it lingers the way it does, and like I know this one stings. The the Hail Mary pick 6, which it's going to be known as, and we're going to have to now celebrate for a very long time, but which also happened on the 10-year anniversary of the butt fumble, just so we're all clear.
I was at the butt fumble.
And it was a 10-year anniversary of the butt fumble.
I didn't see the butt fumble. I was at the game. I didn't see it. My wife saw it. She saw it. She was sitting in the seat. I was going to get beers or something because it was literally like 35-3 at half, that game.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad.
Yeah.
Like, and we were sitting out there on Thanksgiving night.
But that one made it, that was a big deal. Like, that was rough. But the fake spike was a big deal because that one at the time, like, we just were getting owned by the Dolphins. Dan Marino just played games with us, and it happened versus, you know what got me the most is it happened versus Aaron Glenn, who, like, I respected the most, and that he let it happen. I just saw that one the other day too. But I'm going to tell you, it's most embarrassing entirely. It's the butt fumble. Anything involving a man's face going into another man's butt, it's going to stick with that one.
No way. I would absolutely put the order I would go would be.
What do you got?
Namath.
Yeah. No, he's attempting to kiss. That's classic New Yorker.
As far as embarrassing goes,
I had a bunch of drinks and I tried to kiss a pretty girl. That's just I want my quarterbacks to do that.
Namath, then yesterday.
In his defense, he asked permission.
No, he didn't.
He did.
He said, "I just want to kiss you."
That's asking. That's
and he doesn't give a damn about the team struggling.
He did lean though.
Yeah, he leaned in.
Slow lean is the equivalent of asking permission.
Now let me.
Because you have enough time.
Now let me ask you. Now,
thank you.
Here we go. Ready? Bigger power move by Jets quarterback. Joe Namath leaning in on Susie Colbert or Brett Favre sending the picks? Which is a bigger power move?
Power move is definitely it's live on air.
Yeah,
it's live on air.
I'm going for this.
I'm drinking.
Did he know he was live on air?
At that moment,
he didn't know. At that moment, he had no idea.
I think so.
I thought they were done. I don't think he even knew he was being interviewed.
Because they had that VIP party before the game. You know what I mean? You get it. They just get whacked.
I get it. He's whacked. He was clearly whacked.
You
can't go on. Who let him go on? Who let him go on?
Listen, you got a microphone in his face and a huge camera. This is also a long time ago. Today you can have a little camera. No, big camera.
Yeah. Like middle of the field. It was halftime.
It was on the sideline, I believe. It was kind of during the game.
But he went in like he was like I'm going. He went. He did the lean and everything.
Slow lean.
And even then it was just the most awkward moment in the world. Now the dick
she
pics.
She played it well though.
The Favre dick pics are pretty bad too. Because those leak out. Now those leak out. I'm sure they're somewhere on the internet. I don't care to look for them, but they're out there. You could go get the Favre dick pics.
Can you? How do you know? How do
you definitely can. Everything's on the internet.
Don't act now. Don't backtrack now.
The girl put them.
Like you haven't seen them.
The girl put.
Look, it's on your wallpaper.
The girl put them on. She sold them to somebody. He was sending them to like a cheerleader, right? They don't make any money. There's a whole thing about how mistreated the NFL cheerleaders are.
See, he should have put those up for auction to pay for the volleyball court.
Now you pay for his bail. He's going to prison. So anyway,
he's not going anywhere.
So the Jets.
And if you're a Hall of Fame quarterback, you clearly get a pass in America to do whatever you want. Is the only thing I learned from this conversation. But like, you can do whatever you want. There's a fair play.
What made Joe Namath like Susie Colbert is like 30 years younger than Joe Namath.
No,
right? Is he bagging girls who are Susie Colbert's age? He's definitely not. He definitely was not at that time. He was an old, dirty man.
Oh, you're so wrong. That's all that they would
He's not. No way. Figure what? He was what, 60?
Do you know anything about fame?
No.
Do you know anything about money and fame?
No. Joe Namath.
Money and fame.
He doesn't have that. He didn't have that much.
You're talking about girls who were just looking for a place to stay that night.
No,
I hear what you're saying.
I think you're wrong.
No, they go to a million functions, and all they do is surrounded by pretty girls. You know who goes to functions like that? Young, pretty girls. They're invited. They're looking for whatever. And there's certain girls who are attracted to fame and money and status, and especially even more so now.
Yeah, but he's disgusting. Like he's
there is not.
Man.
No, what you're missing is
play.
What you're missing is there isn't a day until he can no longer get up and leave his house that it won't be like that. And I am saying you are right that like that age range change is not gonna be like 22. It's like 32-year-olds. But there are people who are in love with, like, they're like, my dad loves you.
Like, what do you
My
think?
grandfather's your biggest fan.
You think Joe
And they're
Namath?
like,
Joe Namath is 80, right? He's 80. You think Joe Namath could get a 40-year-old, a woman our age? A woman our age?
I don't think he would date anybody else, but I think you're I think you're crazy. Like I look at Al Pacino just is on his way having a baby right now with some 25-year-old chick.
So, well, Al Pacino's a lot more famous and a lot richer than Joe Namath.
Oh man, you don't understand what Joe Namath was back then.
Yeah, but no, but he's not
it
like
went like
that.
this. It went like this back then. The Beatles and Joe Namath.
Like-
I'm telling you, it was like that for like a year
yes,
or two.
I agree.
No, for a year or two, it was like that. Bob, do you know what that means? Like that's you are right about
But
the
the
other
girl
people.
our age was never around for that. Our mothers. He could bag our mothers.
Money,
age.
You want to come?
How
to
much
my-
money you think
this is
Joe
how it
Namath
goes.
has?
This is how it goes. This is how it goes. The bar closes. Okay, the function's over, and they're like,
Yeah, I know how it goes to hook up with women.
You come into my penthouse? Yes. And then Joe Namath's dating the girl for 3 weeks. That's 26. It's not some. What? Do you like nice things? I'm gonna buy you things, and he buys them things.
What do you think? What do you
want
think?
to
How
go
much
to
money do
Hawaii?
you think he's worth?
30 million, 40
20,
million?
25. Okay, so he's got a lot of money, but he didn't make any of it playing football. He didn't make 10 million playing football. He probably made 3 million, 5 million. No, I get it. He does the endorsements.
No, but he was the
still
only
does it.
one making it. He got the $1 million contract. Like, and he was. And they gave him a lot of crap for it. Like that was like a big thing.
And he's over. And Alabama.
And he
He's
had
over.
the endorsements. He was the first guy getting endorsements. He was doing the whole leg with the legs,
with the fur coat,
the leg thing.
But that's what I'm saying is like he's not. But the women our age don't. I'm not saying there's not a girl out there that's 40 years old that he can't get. I'm just saying he's not getting them like on the regular. Like he was. You think he was shocked?
Are you talking like I'm dating you, I'm married to you?
No, I'm talking about like dragging him out of the bar.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. There isn't a night in this world that doesn't happen to this man. I don't think you get it.
I clearly
Not
don't.
to mention that you don't lose what you have. Like he was a ladies' man. Like no matter how you don't change,
he's a
you don't
smooth
change.
talker.
So you're not just like some old guy. But you're not like Biden.
It wasn't.
You're
a
not Biden at the bar.
It wasn't.
Like, hey,
I mean, listen.
he's not pulling the chick.
It was not a terrible shot that he took. Right. He took. It was
it's just bad timing.
It wasn't the right.
bad timing.
We didn't have an open. He didn't have. He had a hand in his face.
I think she wanted to say yes. It's not professional.
Do you think he was shocked that she didn't lean back in?
Clearly, he thought he was going to work out.
That's what I'm saying. You don't do that. You don't do that.
And I think that proves my point that he don't get shot down.
Yeah,
Probably the first time.
Oh man, imagine he smacked it.
That proves my point.
You are. Oh my goodness,
But
this
it,
got
you know
off
what?
the rails. This gets conversation.
If you asked him though, that probably changed his life.
It did. He says, yeah, I've heard him say it changed his life.
See? There you go.
Because he stopped drinking after that.
Sober him probably pull some chicks.
Who?
Sober him.
No, sober him.
Namath.
Sober him is not even interested in that. So where's he going to get these?
He just wants like a warm cup of soup and some Werther's Originals.
You can't go to the functions anymore. He doesn't drink.
Do you think he does sideline reports anymore? Do you think he does any mid-game interviews? Have you ever seen a Namath?
I've never seen a Namath. No, he does. The only time I see him, to be honest with you, is Michael K.
Do you think it's him and Susie Colbert talk? I know they made it up.
Have talked.
I know they made it up.
Yes,
but since then, like in passing, what's it like?
I was always under the impression, like with women, like it's just as awkward for them in that moment if they're turning you down as it is for you. Okay, and they shouldn't get angry with you for trying. Now it's with people, and we know them. We know some of them who just keep trying and keep trying. Like the answer's going to change 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
Now Joe Namath, he obviously was inappropriate in the time that he chose to do it on television while she's at work in front of millions and millions of people. It was like a Monday night game.
I think he thought it was pre-taped.
Yeah, he didn't.
I think he thinks it was pre-taped.
Yeah, he didn't know what it was.
That's what I'm thinking about. I think he think it was like the prep.
Yeah, like, okay, we'll do this. Then, yeah. Oh, he definitely didn't think it was on air.
Yeah.
He definitely didn't think it was on air. But now, so the Jets get blown out. Another disaster. The Jets are so bad.
Let's go to the NFL draft order. So that works. The Jets on their way up the rankings in their new division, which is the bad division.
The bad division.
We're going to see the
Giants.
The NFL's worst of the worst. The Giants weaseling their thumbs out. Giants.
All right, so you got the Carolina and Chicago. Both picks belong to Chicago, by the way.
Yes.
So Carolina and Chicago, Chicago and Chicago are both tied for the first pick.
Yep.
So right now, Chicago holds the first and second pick. Right behind that is Arizona. It's a half game behind. Then New England, and then Chicago again. Chicago might win the Super Bowl next year.
Well,
right? I mean, look at this. They have three of the first five
they have
picks.
to get a new quarterback.
Yeah, but they could get it. They're going to have three of the first 5 picks. And then the Giants.
I know, but then you also have to get rid of your dead cap quarterback, Justin Fields, and figure out what you do with him. Same as Jets have to do with Zach Wilson. It's going to cost them $10 million. It's going to cost them another $20 million. And you got to sign the new picks. I hear you.
It's a fake cap in the NFL.
If you make 2 bad picks, you're over forever. Like, forever.
Yeah.
Put it this way: you are right, but that chance of going to the playoffs and becoming good, equal chance of it being over if you pay these guys what they're going to make, and then they don't pan out, and you're stuck with all of it. You're done. But
I mean, they're going to have 3 of the top 5 picks, right? So now let's look up this. Ready? Who was let's say 3 years, 3 years. So 3 years ago would be 2020.
Yeah.
Who were the top 5 picks?
Top 5 picks since 2020. Like who are the top?
No. In the 2020 draft, because we'll say the Bears, it'll take them a couple years to get good, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Let's go.
So now let's say 3 years.
Like it.
So 2020.
Yep.
The player selection. So let's see.
Go.
Here we go. Joe Burrow.
Yep. Worked out great. That
Chase
franchise
Young.
changed.
Chase Young.
Franchise totally changed.
Not good.
Totally different.
Andrew Thomas for the Giants, one of the best in the game, offensive tackle.
Yep.
And Tua. So they could, and then let's go to the players that weren't quarterbacks, because they're not taking 3 quarterbacks. Okay, so you got Andrew Thomas,
Justin Herbert to go in. Like that was a risk. That was a risky move by the Dolphins to take Tua. You have to realize he was off of like a hip replacement.
Who?
Tua.
Oh, Herbert.
Tua was coming.
Tua. Yeah. Miami.
Rough. Like
it was a shock that they took Tua.
Yeah.
And look, he's turned out to be, but he was great. He was a great quarterback at Alabama. And Joe Burrow it looks like he might be heading towards an Andrew Luck type situation.
Maybe
he missed now 2 season-ending injuries. He's an excellent player.
And their window is like the Bills. Like that window closes as that salary cap for Burrow. These contracts got to get paid soon. You have to realize they're all about to get paid, and they all are against the number, and these guys are about to have such inflatable numbers that it makes it very hard to keep those good offensive linemen, to go get those guys who, it's great when guys pan out from your draft, but you got to get pay them then.
Yeah.
Or you got to franchise them.
You know what you should do? Do yourself a favor. Don't take a quarterback from, there's not a quarterback. I can't name a quarterback from Ohio State that was good in the NFL. Kirk Herbstreit.
Kirk Herbstreit.
I mean, Chase Young was supposed to be, number 2 pick. He's garbage. Ohio State, then they don't have, and look, they have all these picks there. Ohio State,
Who could you get later in those drafts? Like who were the second round picks? Who are the quarterbacks?
Okay, so the quarterbacks would be.
Oh, you see Lamb,
okay.
Justin Jefferson, Jordan Love
was a first round pick though. It's still first round. Now here we go. Now we're into the second round. Second round quarterbacks.
Yep.
Okay, Jalen Hurts.
That's what, and you look at, and then what you end up paying them because of in their first few years is so much less.
Yeah,
than
it's cheap. They're free. They're basically free. Let's see.
You kill yourself in those top 5 taking a quarterback in the top 5. They get a certain number, and it's out of control.
Yeah. Top 5. The first round, they get a big number.
It really comes down to, and then you gotta look at like offensive linemen. Like that's where the Jets are going next year. If you want to do anything, it's going to be offensive linemen.
And then there wasn't Jake Fromm.
I need the Jets to lose so bad. Like I am rooting for losses.
Well, you're not going to get many wins. Although the schedule gets a little bit easier.
It's much easier, but they have nobody to play quarterback. Honestly, they might win some of those games with Zach Wilson. I don't think Tim Boyle's ever going to win a game for them.
I don't
think he's going to catch on. That we talked about it. Like he doesn't know the system enough. They changed Zach Wilson not because Tim Boyle's a better choice. They changed it because they couldn't let Zach Wilson just get abused by the fans for the rest of the year. I'm telling you. Oh no,
you couldn't. No, listen, they couldn't. You couldn't run Zach Wilson out there yesterday. You couldn't do that because you knew it was going to be a disaster. They would crucify him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised he was even on. Sure he was catching.
They made him 3. They made him not 2. He was 3.
Yeah, but 3. You dressing on the on the sideline. I'm sure he was catching a lot of smack talk from those fans down there, and they also had that walkway thing where you hang. I mean, it was pretty bad. So, but now on Thanksgiving, there was some the shocker to me. The Lions. Like the Lions turned back into the Lions.
I know that was a rough game to watch for them. Jared Goff didn't look good, and he's the guy who.
And he didn't look good the week before either. When they pulled one out of the fire to beat the Bears.
Let's give Jared Goff some credit. I mean, that guy was, if you look at it, he was on what was about to be a Super Bowl winning team. His team said, "We don't think you can do it. We're going to send you to the worst possible situation in football. Good luck." and goes in there and proves himself to be a pretty good quarterback.
Well, they're good. The Lions are good. They were fighting for the number one seed.
No, and they still are going to be good. They had a bad week. Like they have a good coach. They have a good scheme. They have a good defense. They've drafted so well,
but they've had bad weeks now. 3 out of 4 weeks.
No, I'll give you that. That's that is definitely trend. That is not that's not.
Now,
if
they're going to win that division going away. It's a they've already basically won the division because you got nobody in the division. You got the Bears, the Packers.
That ruined everybody's bets for the week for the Thanksgiving.
Yes,
that set everybody off.
Yes. But then you recovered in the Dallas game.
What a day! Let me tell you. I don't know what I was thinking, and I was telling my buddy at work. I was like, "Man," I was like, "Cowboys." He's like, "Oh, there's gonna be some good games." I was like, "Cowboys gonna win by 30."
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, Cowboys win this game by 30. And then again, I'm like, you know what? I wake up in the morning. I'm like, I'm putting in the Cowboys to win by 30. I'm like, let's do it. And I go, you know what? If the Cowboys gonna win by 30, that means Dak's gonna have a pretty good day. So I put in an alternate spread of 28.5. I put in Dak as an alternate passing yards to go over 325, and I put him in for 4 touchdowns. And let me tell you, it comes down to he gets his 4th touchdown. He goes over the 325.
They missed an extra point.
They missed an extra point early in the game, and I'm up, and they're only up by 28, and there's only 3 minutes left, and I'm like, there's no chance. There's no chance.
So I lose $900 on a hook.
$20 bet to win like almost 900, and I look over and I go, I'm going to lose this thing by half a point. You know what they were offering me at that point?
Oh yeah, what were they? Nothing, right? $10.
$7.
Yeah,
$7.
Yeah, you can't. But no, you can't take 7.
No, I'm not taking anything.
Their offers are pretty ridiculous.
The highest offer they even offered me during that game, but it really didn't look at any point like this is going to cash. If you asked me at halftime, like this isn't going to cash, like I think he had the yards, but
yeah,
it just wasn't.
How much were they offering you? The highest?
At $60.
And then
that was early.
Then went up to like 800, right? Once they did the pick six. Like
no, they didn't offer cash out. No, at a certain point in the fourth quarter, they don't offer cash outs at all. The last cash out I was offered was $7, and then it was all no chance. And they ruined themselves because they should have been offering stuff at some point of like people might have cashed out for half.
Yeah, but
because they actually.
How many people have that bet? How many people have that bet? You made that.
No,
bet, right?
not that bet. No, not at all. But there's a whole bunch of people who had something linked to
the points to 28 and a half.
Whatever. Maybe not even. You're right. Like, probably not even where it mattered. But it's just in general. That's like there's a cutoff on their bets. They're not going to even attempt to do it at a certain point. I don't know what that point is, but so all of a sudden the pick six, where of course it's like the record-breaking pick six, and they're announcing it, and it's like, and this is to break the record. I was like, yeah, the record of me winning bets. I was like, here's the record coming, and he broke a tackle. He almost got tackled. Now he almost gets tackled at like the 10 or like the 15, and if that happened, I don't think at any point did they attempt to kick a field goal or try and score. I think they run the ball 4 times.
How much time was left? How much time was left? Was
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
3 minutes, they might kick a field goal. If they go 3 and out, they might kick a field goal.
I really...
Because they don't not try to rub it in.
The game was so at hand that Washington didn't try and advance the ball when they got it back, because now there was still 2 minutes left.
They just ran it in.
There's 3 minutes left, and now I'm bugging because if they go down and get a gimme touchdown, I lose this bet.
Yeah,
and they're not offering a cash out. And that's where they should have offered the cash out, because people would have taken it. But they didn't even attempt to. If you go back and watch it, there's 3 minutes. There's a point where there's 2 minutes and 40 seconds. They run a running play. They wait for the 2 minute warning.
But now
it was the great. I've never seen a team like I watched the Jets. I watched the Jets down by whatever they're down by, still slinging the ball with 30 seconds left, trying to advance it and try to gain yards.
Right after the pick six.
Yeah.
Before the kickoff.
Yeah.
They offer you 600.
Nope, no chance. No,
600?
I was so pissed.
You see, that's stupid though. You should take 600 because for what you just said.
No, you're right.
They come back.
You're right, because I didn't think that they were just gonna they more or less need the ball. They weren't even attempting to like advance the ball. It was so awesome. Like I can't tell you. I still didn't enjoy it. Like it was still like very rough to watch because I really thought it was going to be a guy breaks away. Like I thought a guy was just going to break away.
Even when
how many times have we seen it?
Yeah, you have $20, so you're not losing anything. But even when it's like that, I can't enjoy. I can't enjoy gambling like that when there's like real money on the line. I just don't enjoy.
And I didn't make like 20 wagers that day. I was one of 3 bets. I believe
I made 2 wagers that day, and they both had the line.
That was it. My only other bets were Lions parlayed, and the rest of them hit. The rest and the other ones were everybody. You had
some props, right? You had like Boyle going over on the yards.
That's the only other bet I placed the other day was Boyle over 160. $69,
next day.
and he and he actually cashed that one, $50 or whatever it was.
Yeah, I didn't even see it. I just saw your text messages. I was actually, listen to this. So I had work that night. So I worked the night before Thanksgiving. I came home. I went out to Long Island, out to Sayville, out here actually, and then came back. And by the time I got back, it was like 6:30, and I had to get up at 7:30. So I couldn't even go lay down and enjoy it, because if I would have laid down at 6:30, there's a good chance I just open my eyes at 3:30 in the morning, because I haven't slept all day. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go to work. I get off the train. I left a little bit early. I get off the train, and there's a guy, like old man, like 75 years old, and he's kind of like spinning around, and I can see, okay, he's blind. So I grab his arm. I'm like, you want help? I walk him down the stairs. I'm like, where you headed? And the blind people, they're incredible, Brett. The fact that this man, I wouldn't have made it to 10 minutes in this life blind, because I let go of him and he had no idea. So he goes, I'm going to a mosque up on Skillman Avenue. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I take him to a mosque. He goes, he had seen it on WhatsApp. No, you didn't see it. I shouldn't say that, because he doesn't see anything. He's blind.
Would you drop him off at a temple?
I went to take him to a mosque. It was closed, right? He wanted to go to this one mosque because there were two mosques having a get together. One of them was a Turkish mosque. He didn't want to go to the Turkish mosque. He doesn't like it because he said they don't like black people.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought he was going to say because of the food.
No, he said they don't eat. They're racist. They don't like black people, which I said was ridiculous. Whatever.
Turkish one.
So he's now my best buddy. I take him to the one mosque, closed.
Okay.
Take him to the other mosque,
What kind of hours is a mosque?
closed.
What kind of hours are
I don't know, but they're both closed, right? So then I take him to his house. I let go of this guy, and he's spinning around. He can't find anything. How did he expect to get there?
Oh, he's not good. I thought you were going to say he was good at it.
No, like he was like he's going to. I take my hand off his arm for 1 second, and he's trying to open the door and he's walking into the wall. How does that guy get through the day? And he's the best guy ever, Brett. He's got a number. I give him a card. He's going to listen to the show. He has no idea what sports are in here. He's going to listen to the show. I took him home. I dropped him off at his 80-something-year-old wife, who's also blind. Now, I said to him, good thing she's blind, because you're an ugly mother.
Yeah.
But how do they get through life? And it's amazing to me. And like, he's an amazing person. He's my new best friend. He took my number down. He goes, is it okay if I text you? I said, you text me anytime you want. We were laughing the whole way. I ended up like not having to go home and get changed and be late for work. But it was like, and I half expect, now let me qualify this. I half expected at some point, as I was walking this guy from one mosque to another mosque to his house, somebody was going to come out and be like, because you're so nice, here's $1,000. I want to give you $1,000. I was going to give you one of those internet.
That would have
things.
been nice.
So it was in the back of my head. I didn't do it because of that. I didn't do it because of that. But that was in the back of my head that this is so absurd that this is happening. And I'm doing all this.
But what if it was like the opposite? What if it was like a Chris Hansen type of situation to see if he took advantage of the guy?
Maybe it wasn't. I just didn't steal his wallet.
And I think Chris Hansen's a bad example because I didn't mean sexually. I mean, like just
but
in
I
general.
stole his wallet.
Like, you just weren't kind.
I stole his wallet.
Like you took him. Like I said, like he wants to go to a mosque, and you were like, drop him over to temple with the rabbi. See how that goes.
Well,
you think your temple doesn't like black people? You'll see how they like Muslims over at the temple.
And we said we'd sit him in the middle of the road. Be like,
honestly,
sit down right here.
and New York's such a different place. You could have dropped him off anywhere, and anybody's going to accept you.
Yeah.
Equally hate you. Put it that way. They might not accept you. They equally will just dislike you.
Yeah. He went and then the second mosque, I'm sorry, the second mosque wasn't closed. He walked in, right? I dropped him off. He went in. I'm 3 steps away and I hear, Bob! I turn around. He's like, good thing I heard. He's like, I don't like it in there. I'm like, how do you feel? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, where are you going? Like, how are you finding these places? And he's like, WhatsApp, he said.
Then what is
it's like an 80-year-old man on WhatsApp.
Translating?
He listens.
He listens
bro.
to it.
I don't know. It was amazing.
What do you think it's like getting the reviews for a mosque through your earbuds?
He's an amazing person. We laughed.
Like
I had the best time.
He's like, I got 2 stars, no blacks.
I'm telling you, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, the Turkish people don't like blacks. He's like, no, bro, no, they're racist. I don't like that. He goes, I don't want to go there, but I'm going to go anyway. Drop me there.
What kind of culture shock did you experience when you got dropped off into Sayville's Christmas Wonderland today?
I don't know.
What a difference you had.
I could see
you were at the you were doing the tour of the mosques, and all of a sudden you get dropped off in Christmas Wonderland in downtown suburban Sayville.
And I can't wait until he texts me. I can't wait to see
reindeer coming by. You're out there walking around blind people. We got our people are riding reindeer around town.
I'm taking him out for lunch when he hasn't drank in like 10 years sober. So he was drunk. He was a drunk.
Yeah, they're not allowed to drink.
No, he was a drunk at some point. His brother died of alcohol poisoning. He said,
man.
"Brett, I'm telling you, this guy's fascinating. He's coming on the show
you're a
too."
good guy.
Yeah, I was
Good guy.
I thought, but, and I admitted in the back of my mind, I was like, "There's a little chance that I might get $1,000 out of this." When the
No, this is usually where you're like, he's coming on next week.
no, he might be.
It's usually like where you're like,
He's coming on. He goes, "I want to listen."
Yeah.
He goes, "I don't know
Listen.
sports, but I want to listen." And I gave him the card. I gave him my card.
Listen, and you know how it works. If you can't see, then all of a sudden you hear even better. So he's going to really like it.
He's gonna love it.
It's going to be like perfect for him.
But I hope he hears this. And
Thank God it's a radio show.
Because I'm taking you out to lunch. And with his wife, he's the best. I forget his name. Hard to
Doesn't
pronounce.
matter.
Hard to pronounce. Best guy in Sunnyside. So that's it, Brett. Right? That's it. Do you have anything else?
I
Knicks
can't
win.
even.
Knicks won. Rangers won again today.
Next week we're going to talk sports.
Unbelievable college football today. Unbelievable college football. I might go on and give you a little something with the NFL because we didn't even get into the games tomorrow.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. The worst. You just enjoy the worst game of the year. Patriots Giants. That's going to be a real barn burner.
But nothing is going to beat the Jets and Giants. Brett,
Barn
you
burner.
can't top the Jets and Giants.
It
game.
is.
It was literally the worst game ever. And the Jets, listen, I don't know. That was embarrassing. It just gets more and more embarrassing. I think Salah's got to go. I think Hackett's got to go. And if Rodgers don't like it, he can hit the road too. Because how good is a 40-year-old quarterback off major surgery after missing a full year going to really be? How good is he? And you can't even protect him.
Your doubt makes me like I have chills. I'm so excited now. I'm like I feel like this might actually happen because you just like don't like the more that you don't believe it's happening, I have a pretty good chance this is actually
Florida State won. Florida State by 10. So then now you got a mess. You got a mess at the top of the college football rankings.
I don't know who they play in the championship. We'll find out. But
They're gonna play. It's with ACC. It's gonna be like Virginia Tech or somewhere like Louisville.
Good question.
Louisville maybe, but either way. So it's that's it. I gotta go home, Brett. I got a lot to do.
I'm done.
So that does it for us. For Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters. I'll talk to you tomorrow or at some point. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Happy Thanksgiving. It's holiday season, Brett. It's Christmas time. See ya.